Good morning. My name is Brijesh, and you already know about what we are going to cover today. So, first of all, this is the first lecture. So, going to talk about the overview of blue bioeconomy. And there's one humble request: if you have any question, feel free to stop me in between. Otherwise, we look like completely a monotonous one. I keep speaking, and then I'll presume either you are understanding everything or nothing is being understood. So what we're going to cover today, first and foremost, is concept of economies, circular versus bioeconomy, and what is blue bioeconomy. So do you all or anybody think what really a blue bioeconomy means? So what is to do with the color? What does blue implies? Blue shirt or blue trouser or blue dress? So how many of you have idea what a economy is? I am dead sure that nobody here is an economist. Neither do I. So it's very interesting when the scientists, engineers, and researchers, they all talk about economy and circular economy, blue economy, everything. So if you see in terms of economy, so there are several different colors of economy. So how many colors can you identify here? Green economy, you would have heard a lot about it. White economy, gray economy, orange, silver, black, yellow, purple and orange, it's together. It's not mistake, it's intentionally done there. Red and blue. So do you understand anything about any of these colors?
If only talking about color, for me, I know that blue color keeps evils away.
Very good. What about the black one? So because you have a blue jacket, that's why you're thinking blue keeps evils away, yeah?
No, it's in Chinese. They make their doors and everything blue, so I know that.
Okay.
Rest I will be knowing by this session.
Okay. That's great. So I'll quickly go through first few ways how different types of economies are described, and stop me in between if you wish to. So first one is green economy. That means we are trying to green everything. So basically it means environmental sustainability and low carbon development. And I'm not going to cover exactly what sustainability means and how it is being addressed. That will do it in the third lecture, which will be today evening. And the principles focus here on renewable energy. That means whatever we are using, fossil-based economy compared to non-fossil based, sustainable agriculture, resource efficiency, climate change mitigation. So when we talk about renewable energy, can you name any of the renewable energy? Tidal energy, solar energy, this is all renewable one. Non-renewable, that means it's exhaustive, energy coming from coal or so, yeah. Any of those principles comes under the green economy. So it's, as this morning it was mentioned, there is nothing can be circular. Most of the operations are linear, but we try to make it circular by reusing it, or by creating a loop where we can use a waste of one becomes input for other. Simple example is, if you take a meat industry, muscle of any animal is a flesh of an animal is a food product, whereas a skin is a waste from the food industry. Whereas for the leather industry, skin is the main product, flesh is a side stream. So that's one of the examples. There could be 100 different examples related to that. So this is one to do with the green economy. Second one is white economy. So white economy is mainly related to health and care industries. The healthcare industries, health services, biotechnology and pharmaceuticals, well-being and social care, or all these things are considered as white economy. So it is not that white money or a black money. So its white one is often related to health and care industries. So there are basically 12 different colors of economy. Third is grey economy, which is mainly informal economy. You all know outside this NIT there is a small thela redi wala who makes sell tea, coffee, chaat and all those stuff. And you'd have seen in lately in Government of India there have been regulation. They started regulating bit of informal economy because that contributes extensively to national economy as well as employment creation. This is neither illegally or nor fully regulated. So like unregistered laborers or small scale trading, street vendors, or music and dance shows and all those street one, all is classified into grey economy. Other one is a brown economy, that is high carbon, environmentally unsustainable activity. As you can see from this, related to coal, gas and oil. So don't go into this 24, 23 and 38% figures. These belongs to a specific country, that amount of energy coming from these three different sources. So here we rely heavily on fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? Are they biofuels? Technically they are biofuels because, yeah,
Yeah, I mean coal and all, coal, petroleum.
yeah, technically they are also a sort of biofuels technically, because coal is also created from copra, yeah, and this is all the biomasses which has been buried under the earth thousands and thousands years ago, which converts into oil. So that's why they are fossil fuel, because they are coming from the fossil. So ultimately they are also biological, but they are not renewable because we cannot make it straight away and use it. So there is no clear-cut definition what will be can be exactly classified as a biofuel. That's one way. Biological origin is considered as a biofuel, or the fuel which is not coming from coal, gas or using oil. So coal-fired power plants or anything which involves deforestation activities comes under brown economy. And this list is not exhaustive. There are larger definitions, there are multiple books related to each and every economy written by proper economists, not a agriculture scientist or a food scientist writing about economies. So other one is silver economy. So that is bit related to white economy, that is healthcare, but economic activities centered around aging population. That is for senior citizens, innovations targeting older demographies, or retirement and elderly focused technology. So you must be wondering how all these things are related to blue bioeconomy or the fish or a shellfish. So you'll see how all these things are coming together and making some relevance. Now this is black economy. This is not exactly the opposite of white economy, but illegal or informal economical activities. So how popular is this? We all talk about black economy. Yeah. So this is all to do with evading tax, smuggling, unregulated labors, underground market or duplicate products, or evading tax. That means causing negative impact on exchequer, that's on the government income. So this is all to do with black economy. It took a while for me to find the logo with the rupee on it. So that's so this is what we will consider as a black economy. Now yellow one. So yellow economy is what is mainly related to knowledge driven. Some can be innovation related centered activities, knowledge driven. Examples are, one of the most latest examples related to artificial intelligence, technology, R&D, or education as a driver of growth. So even this GIAN course can come into a sector of yellow economy. So AI driven businesses, technical startup, education, technology, creative industries, this is all will be classified as yellow economy. Purple is related to cultural and creative industries. So many of you are also involved in creative activities, art and heritage, creative expression as an economic driver, film, music, cultural tourism, and all this will be considered as a purple economy. One quick question, am I going very fast? Very slow? Not at 30 km per hour speed. It really took 6 hours from Ranchi to here because the driver was extra careful in night time. So in this case, all this is cultural activities, creative activities are classified as purple economy. Now, red economy, high environmental impact and industrial extractions. So that is quite similar to your brown economy, which is again resource intensive process, heavily dependent on fossil fuels or non-renewable resources. That is mining. Mining is one of the greatest example of this, and all of this belt is for mining of coals, mining of iron ore and all. So these are all related to red economy, which are very energy intensive and also have huge environmental impact. Yeah. So with this different colors, as I mentioned, this is orange economy, which was the circle which was very close to your silver one, sorry, close to the purple one, is to do all with the creative economy, emphasizing cultural innovations. That is content creation, intellectual property rights, that is developing technologies or not exactly developing technology, but maintenance of that technology, patents, and all will be classified as as orange economy. Various video games, digital games, and digital tools will be considered within this particular orange economy. So this is orange, and then this is the one which is we are going to focus on, the blue economy. So blue economy is how do we make best use of our ocean, marine or freshwater resources. Over next 10 days, I'll be interchangeably, whenever I say marine, freshwater also included in it. So what is the amount of water on the globe? 70%, yeah. So 30% is land, 70% is the water. And how important is the water? How much is the water content of human body? 70%. Yeah, approximately same 70%. So most of the marine species also have nearly about 70. Even if you take a seaweed, their moisture content is also 70 plus, right? So 70 becomes very, very important. So that's why the emphasis on blue economy is huge at the moment from Europe. And blue economy plays a major role in Southeast Asia, as you'll see majority of the diet with Southeast Asian countries are all related to seafood or sea-based products. Yeah. So principle here is ocean health, marine biodiversity and conservation, responsible fishing and aquaculture. What do we mean by aquaculture? Aqua also means water in Spanish language, yeah. So what is aquaculture? Any of the cultivation happening in water given is known as aquaculture. Yeah, please. Cultivation of aquatic animal. Yes, exactly. This is also aquaculture. Aquaculture is a bigger word which includes cultivation of seaweeds, that is sea plants. We call it seaweeds, but they are not basically a weed. This is a sea plant. Example written here is a sugar kelp, that is Saccharina latissima. You'll see this word in when we start going for the production and aquaculture system. So this is the seaweed from where we get all our alginates, carrageenans, which is heavily used in ice cream as a thickening agent. Then you have mussels, that is again shellfish, yeah. That's your animal. At the same time, crab cultivation, all this thing together, plus you have your wild harvest. Wild harvest, that is available on the sea, you just go and collect it. That's wild harvest. Other one is aquaculture. So in traditional time, we used to harvest fruits from the forest. That will be wild harvest. If the same fruits are grown in a farm, that will be cultivation, yeah. So that's the way aquaculture is defined. So within this blue economy is not only related to food, but also with your wind, tidal energy. Oceans are also used for recreational purposes, tourism. What else? Also contributes to black economy through smuggling. You would have seen a lot of movies are there, right? Yeah. A lot of movies are there using sea route for smuggling and other things. So maritime borders are there, as well as for transportation of goods from one country to another. So the relevance of water is bigger. But when you talk about blue economy, looks, it's only a blue economy. But it's having a huge role impacting almost every other economy what you have studied. So black economy may not be impacting directly the blue economy, but blue economy will have impact on all other economy. Do you agree or you do not agree? You should disagree also. For example, the mining, that's again your red economy or orange economy, or extracting oil is not only from the land but also from the seabeds. Yeah, that becomes an important. Tourism, that is using wind as a transportation through boats and export through river. All these economies are also related to blue economy. Yeah. So this is the beauty of circularity. You can relate one thing with anything. Yeah. So that becomes an important aspect. So one of the most important thing is whatever new terminology you may come across through this lecture, feel free to ask me about each and every terminology. Because once you know about the wording of that, that makes things easier. Yeah. So that is what is to do with blue economy. So that was only the basics of the economy from a researcher perspective or from a scientist perspective. So now in front of economy, if I add bio, what it becomes? Very good, it becomes bioeconomic. Sandhi vichhed, like two different words, join it together, then what do you call that? If you divide a word into two, it becomes sandhi vichhed, but if you join two words together, what is called? Sabdavali? No. I also forgot, I studied when I was in a school, yeah. So basically bioeconomy, that means all those economic activities, all different 12 forms of activity, of economic activities, if they all have a biological origin, it becomes bioeconomy. Very simple definition, no complication. So if you are using coal as a fuel, instead of this coal, if you use biological source for fuel, it becomes bioeconomy. Yeah. So that means if you start using your wood, that becomes bioeconomy. Yeah. But you may say we don't want to use the coal because of CO2 emissions or CO emission, carbon monoxide emission. Burning of wood also causes CO2 emissions, methane emissions and carbon monoxide. Yeah. So the whole purpose here is to have a proper balance so that the sources which are emitting carbon dioxide, and there is also a sink. The whole story of the sustainability is the balance is not there. It's not that if you do not use coal, things will be better. The problem is if we have amount of CO2 produced is sequestered by the plants on this earth. That is the balance what we know, which we call it as sustainability. Yeah. Sustainability, one simple meaning is to sustain. Yeah. Even if you have whatever money you have, you stop your employment after working for 20 years, you'll sustain your life till the end of till the time you are there on this earth. But you want to have better than that. So a whole fight and everything is to do how we can make it a balance. So at the moment, the concept goes more drifting towards biological origin. So one question, what do you think, what is the largest biomass on this earth? Largest biomass. Animal, plant, bacteria, yeast, fungi and all those biomasses, yeah? What is the largest in your opinion? Huh? Plants. Plant is the largest one. Okay. Second?
Undersea, those planktons.
No, all over the earth. Forget about the water now. All over the earth, including water as well as the land, what is the largest biomass? Plant. That's, you're correct. Oh, sorry, I pressed something. Yeah. Plant is the largest biomass. What is the second largest biomass on this earth? Guess. If you guess it right, I'll get you one chocolate.
Those excretas of the animals.
No, biomass. Take it as a living being or something, yeah? Fungi. How many of you agree with him? Second largest is bacteria, isn't it? Yeah, second largest is bacteria. When I read this sequence, even I was amazed to see that. That was a part of proceedings of academic PANS journal. That a latest study, and plants constitute what percentage? Almost 96% of biomass on this earth is related to plant. Second one is the bacteria. Third one, your friend mentioned about the fungi. And where the humans come. Human contribution is 0.06%. So think such a small amount of biomass is controlling everything. Yeah. So that is why it is now been, this is one of the things why it is presumed, why we think bioeconomy is the way forward. And technically everything is occupied or originates from biological side. And what's the second one is circular economy. So what is the circular economy in your opinion now? Yeah.
So the waste of one industry can be used as the input of other industry so that nothing goes waste. So that's termed as circular economy.
True. Any other definition? Any other defining that? She's correct, yeah. Any other? In fact, she covered all majority or definition part of circular economy in single sentence. That's great. So circular economy is how we can create circles out of a simple linear equation. As the Professor Panda was mentioning, there's a linear, just try to make it circle, yeah. And what is the most stable structure is like is a square is the most stable structure or circle? Which one is most stable structure? Circle. So even if you make a well square, it becomes circle over time, yeah. So that's why now this is again, you can quote me that I said like circular will be most stable one, but 50 years down the road we are not sure whether this will be really a great concept, because now we see everywhere plastic is being eliminated. Now we go with a jute bag and other entities, but somebody created polyethylene coming out of the biorefinery process and was lauded to make a lighter material which is much more stronger and flexible. But now same plastic which solved the problem 200 years ago of the jute bags, now jute bags are considered as an alternative to plastic, yeah. So that's but need of the hour is how we create circularity and bioeconomy. So how do we define circular economy? Resource efficiency and waste elimination. So any of the given process in a sequence, whether it's a food processing, your own activity, how you can create a loop. Even if you take your daily activities, you get up in the morning, you consume tea or a coffee, your tea bag or something, you create a waste, put it in a bin. How you can make use of it? A, you have a clothes, do you need to iron it every day or you need to wash it every day? So those are the questions. It's not like stop taking a bath and so that you save a water, but you create a problem on the other side, you become unhealthy, yeah. So that is the balance what you are talking about, yeah. It's not that avoiding waste will always solve the problem. Replacing every plastic, personally, I do not see as a best solution. That's why when plastics were banned in the country, there were single-use plastics were restricted, because they are the one which creates the waste. Lot of what you call a small pouch, you get pan parag and all those things, gutka and all, right? Something which is consumed a lot and consumed heavily from the area where I originate from, Varanasi side. But now they made it as a packaging one, the plastic or something which degrades, so that you don't see much of the problem in environment. Yeah. So principles: recycling, reusing, and repairing. So the concept of repairing is completely eliminated or was eliminated few years ago in Europe. That means phone is gone, get a new one, that's gone. It's now repairing, those repair things are gone. Like nobody tries to repair, they just replace it. Because replacement costs are cheaper compared to repairing cost. Buying a trouser is cheaper compared to getting it stitched. 10 years ago, this wasn't the story. Yeah. Designing out waste and pollution. That means how you can eliminate the waste or how we can reduce the pollution. Prolonging the product life cycle. That means how we can extend the shelf life. So if I use a technology or if we provide a solution to extend the shelf life of a product, will it contribute to circular economy? Because we are eliminating the waste. Yeah. That is reducing the potential waste. So that will be in one sense. Yeah. So remember one thing, these are not the definition what you read in a book or a paper becomes the writing on the wall. You can create your own definitions and you can create your own loops to prove the point. So research is not restricted to a specific group of people. Everybody whosoever is involved in activity is equally capable of contributing to it. So simple definition or is closed loop manufacturing or second hand markets. These are the two examples. So if you'll see virgin material, that is any raw biomass, you do extraction, processing, production, that includes development, assembly, distribution. This is not exactly a food example. And then you have use, that is purchase, application, end of use, then you dispose it. Yeah. You can fit here as making a iPhone, suppose. Yeah. You make iPhone, you do a lot of extraction of different minerals or metals and all to make it assembly. Yeah. You produce it. I'm giving completely different example. For me, giving food example is much easier. Whereas you use it, you purchase it, and then you use it, and then what do you do is when it is gone? How many of you use a smartphone? Almost everybody. Yeah. What happened to those old cell phones? You know, like Nokia 2100, all those type of phones. What happened to those phones? They're still in use. People they do use it. When you get it replaced, somebody else is using it. So that is also a principle of circular economy. Yeah. And then instead of disposing, how you can create circularity. That means extracting minerals out of it, extracting the chip, or using a phone to make something else. Yeah. So that is the way you can create a circularity. So as I said, innovation is important. That means how you think about it and how you can make use of it. And I can bet you, if you see any of the processes, you can come up with the brilliant ideas. Yeah. Because majority of the inventions and innovation are done by those who never went to college. Do you agree with that? I'll give you an example. Thomas Edison, when he was making a bulb, he failed more than 1,000 times. So his colleague said, "Oh, you're still trying it? You failed 1,000 times?" He said, "No, I did not fail 1,000 times. I know 1,000 times it won't work." Yeah. So that is important to remember. It's not that if you want to make use of seafood waste or apple pomace, what you'll do first? First you'll go to the library or a journal to see what people they have done. Yeah. But that's not the right approach. First think about yourself. Yeah. Then come up with the process, then try to see how A can be converted to B. So knowledge is one thing and innovation is another. We use money to create knowledge. Like you're paying the fee, you're going to university, such a big infrastructure, government is spending money for you to get the knowledge. Yeah. But how you make use of knowledge becomes innovation. So making use of knowledge to make money becomes innovation, And innovation, we make a money, part of that money goes to create a knowledge. That is the way of knowledge intensive economy operates. Yeah. For example, if you are driving a vehicle and you want to check the fuel level in a car or in a scooter or a bike, it's a dark. So you need a light source to see the fuel. From where we can get a light source? Either by a torch or by using a matchstick. So what you will use? Both are giving a light. Torch. Why not matchstick? Matchstick will catch fire with the fuel. So fuel catches fire with matchstick is the knowledge. Yeah. Light is required to see the level. Yeah. That's another knowledge. Application of that knowledge is innovative one. Yeah. So that does not mean somebody whosoever is knowledgeable will create best amount of money on this earth. No. Yeah. Am I clear in saying that? Never to think that you got 40% marks and somebody got a 90% marks. So the 40% mark fellow cannot do anything. That's not true. Yeah. So that's an important message. So concept of re, up and down cycling. So reduce, reuse and recycle. So what does mean by reducing? Reducing the waste, reusing it or recycling. Yeah. You know this, correct? So this is called re word. What is upcycling or downcycling? Any idea what will be the difference between recycling, upcycling and downcycling? Recycling is easy. Reusing discarded material to create a product of similar or lower value. Yeah. That means you have a product and how you create another product of inferior quality, that is recycled material, polyester recycled, plastic recycled, or you have a water bottle, you have created the water you bought for this for 20 euros or 20 rupees or something, but next time you fill in the water, but you use it for yourself or you sell it for 5 rupees. It happens at railway station and other places. Yeah. So that is again reusing it. So this is called recycling or reusing. Yeah. Upcycling, creating a better value of the discarded material. Can you give an example of upcycling?
From food waste, if there are a lot of food waste are there, from that we will be extracting any colors or any other phenolic compounds, or from seafood waste we will be extracting chitins and it can be utilized for food packaging and other applications. Value added products will be making.
Correct. Is there any live example you have? Yeah, you're right actually. This is can be like for instance, I'll give example from Irish context. The milk is used to produce cheese. Yeah. So your paneer is expensive or a milk is expensive? Paneer is expensive. Yeah. And then what you get left over is a whey. Yeah, whey or mattha, whatever you call it, right? So have you ever thought the industry will create a cheese to produce only whey?
No, sir. No.
This is what happens. The whey protein is more expensive than a milk or a cheese. You see all the market, you know, the what you call all the bodybuilders and everybody buys whey protein isolate. So cheese is created only for whey. So that means all the technology is done to increase the yield of paneer or cheese was good in 1980s, 1990s. But since 1990s, more and more protein into a whey is making more money. Yeah. So that is an example of upcycling. You went very advanced example, that's good. But I was looking for a simple example. The cheese is one. From fish and any of the side stream, you can get high value ingredient. Yeah. Now, example of downcycling, where you degrade the value of a raw material. Any example? There can be plenty. Yeah.
Sir, automobiles.
Explain.
After buying a car, even after 1 month, the value gets degraded.
Yeah. True in one way, but the main thing for downcycling is if the value is there, yeah. The car you bought it, still value will decrease for every product, yeah. Downcycling, what I mean here in this context, you have raw material which is 1000 rupee, and you create a product which is not even 100 rupees. What's an example how you can downgrade it? Suppose you are a scientist, yeah, or you're doing research, you can solve the technical matter, yeah, but you have been given a typist job to type something, yeah. So downgrading the value of it, or you buy an expensive mushroom from the shop, yeah, and you are trying to make dried mushroom or something, yeah. So downcycling is raw material value is more, and the created product is having a less value. 90% of cases this doesn't happen. Raw material is always upgraded, but sometimes upgraded material is a raw material and you create a product which is of no use or of a low value, yeah. There can be a numerous example, yeah. Best you hired a best chemical engineer or best IT professional and ask him to cook a food, yeah. That is a perfect example of downcycling the skills, yeah. Same way you get the best cook, very expensive cook, and you ask him to do something which is not his forte, yeah. So that is example of downcycling, upcycling and recycling, yeah. So this is all coming under your wider ambit of circular economy and somewhat related to bioeconomy. So I leave on to you guys how you draw your own concept of circular economy and bioeconomy, yeah. So this is very wordy. So bioeconomy is all the activities which are involved production, use and conservation of biological resources, plant, animal, microorganisms, related knowledge, science, technology and innovation. So everything related to the production, usage, preservation and conversion of those into value added ingredient will cover into bioeconomy, yeah. Does this definition sounds okay? Of course it has to be, it's not my own one, it's been taken a proper definition for bioeconomy. And if you open any of the scientific literature or book, you'll see hundreds of different definitions. So best thing is to define it in your own word. What type of plant? Yeast is not a plant, microorganism, yeast, bacteria, any of those microorganisms or plant, whether it's a tomato or it's a sea plant, and everything comes under bioeconomy. So biological resources, biomass from agriculture, that includes side streams as well, forestry, fisheries, aquaculture, agriculture, production, bioenergy, biotechnology, pharmaceutical, that is again whatever word you have, if you have bio word in front of it, becomes biological. You know about material science, other one is biomaterial science, that is material coming from biological origin. Sectors are these, and then sustainability focus on creating circular systems. That means how we can create a circularity. That means if you have a plant, take for example apple, you get an apple juice, apple pomace to obtain your pectin, yeah. You might be thinking why I'm not giving the fish example, yeah, because you'll get as somebody mentioned in the morning, you know, I'm vegetarian, yeah. Keep giving a plant example because fish example will come down the road, yeah. So you have pectin, you get a juice, leftover is a pectin, and from pectin what you do? You can make a biodegradable packaging material, or left of the biomass can go for compost. You want to extract phenolics, as your friend wanted to extract a lot of bioactives, different applications, and it goes for fertilizer, and the same fertilizer is used for the same plant. So making it complete circle, yeah. But in this process, you have to be sure the technology what you use, chemicals what you use, they all should be environment friendly, otherwise you can't make use of it, yeah. So that is also another thing which comes into the circular economy. in nutshell, bioeconomy, circular economy, a blue circular economy, all these are complicated concepts. Anything, everything can come in, but with a specific logic. Yeah. So I can bet you whatever you answer you're going to give, you're not going to be wrong in this sense. Innovation relies on biotechnology, synthetic biology, processes or products developed through these type of technologies. Economic social impact, obviously all the economic activity, since we have economy word, it has to be related to job creation and employment. So if you'll see this particular figure over here, this is coming from the document, this Irish Bioeconomy Action Plan, which we have been responsible for creating a bioeconomy action plan for the economy. What all it should include? One is natural and biological sources, biorefineries for sustainability and circularity, developing bio-based society and economy. That means anything, everything, whatever is being used in day-to-day life in a society or for economic purposes comes from biological origin, not from fossil or collaborative and informed bioeconomy development. That means everything, whatever is happening, how we can learn from different experiences. So we have to learn a lot from Southeast Asia when it comes to blue economy, how to manage the marine resources, whereas when it comes to other side to using energy, solar energy and all those elements, so how all this thing will encompass into bioeconomy. So that means systematic thinking and innovation for use of land and marine ecosystem addressing sustainability, circularity of a bio-based system. So agriculture, is there any other word which is related to agriculture? Have you heard of mariculture, podiculture? Yeah? So there are a lot of, and what is horticulture?
Sir, cultivation of fruits, vegetables, flowers, species
Correct.
and condiments.
And floriculture?
Cultivation of flower.
True. And podiculture?
Sir, जो spices और condiments.
It's PAU, podiculture.
After cooking जिसको हम add करते हैं.
Yeah. So there are a lot of different, yeah, well, podiculture is again, and even silviculture is there, right?
Cultivation of
silkworm and all. So all these are coming from the biological sources, broadly classified as agriculture. Yeah. When we were student, we used to call days ka culture agriculture. Yeah. And then you have a forestry, all the bioresources, everything coming from the forest. So even though there are certain trees where a certain type of bacterial infection is added into the tree, over a year the plant releases certain chemical to overcome that bacterial infection, and that particular wood is used in making high quality, very expensive perfumes, like what you use, Gucci Bloom. Yeah, all those perfumes they have. I'm talking about the guy who keeps all the evil forces away. I like that statement because even I am in a blue shirt today. Yeah. Then we have aquaculture, we already discussed. Or what will be the new sources of biomass? Any idea? Yeah.
Apiculture,
Okay, there's the bees. Yeah.
bees, beekeeping,
Okay.
honey production.
True. Yeah. All this will be classified in agriculture. What I'm asking, what will be the new sources of biomass? New biomass. Good.
Nowadays, insects are there. Then
Yeah.
microbial biomass.
Okay. Yes. Microbial biomass like yeast,
Like yeast, then single cell proteins.
single cell protein, and anything
Algae.
else?
Algae.
Algae, and all these will be classified novel sources of biomass. Yeah. Even now in Europe and other places, pulses are also new sources of protein or alternative protein. You would have seen a lot of literature. Yeah. So all this thing, anything which has not been consumed as a regular food will be considered as a novel source of biomass. Novel food regulation as per the EU, any of the food product which has not been in consumption prior to 2008 becomes novel food. So every organization, every regulations are different. Whether it's Indian one is through what? Who regulates the food in India? What is the full form? Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. Yeah. So what is EFSA? European Food Safety Authority. Yeah. And what is FDA?
Food and Drug Administration.
Good. And what is Codex Alimentarius? Who looks after Codex Alimentarius? Global one.
FAO and WHO.
Correct. FAO is Food and Agriculture Organization. They come up with Codex Alimentarius. Yeah. So they all have different definitions. Whose definition is correct? Whose regulations are better? If you start saying here, there will be a war. Yeah. So, but every regulation is based on the local needs and the needs of the society, needs of that organization. Yeah. So that's one. So what all is included in bioeconomy? Your industries, economic sector, semi-state commercial companies that processes biological resources that need modernization. Yeah. That is also a part of bioeconomy. It's a huge one. It's not only related to the biology. Cities, regions, communities where biological resources are accumulated and need to address challenges. Domestic waste. You'll see all the bins are there. Recycled, plastic, recycled and general waste. How many of you segregate the waste in different bins? I can bet none. Yeah. Sometimes very difficult to read the label what is recyclable, which is non-recyclable, and how do you remove the cake from from the plastic to put it into biofertilizer side or other one. Yeah. So there is the insect concept is very good. You have such type of mixed waste, you grow the insect there, so insect only will eat the food material, your plastic is easily separated and you create a new biomass, and that insect is useful for poultry feed. Yeah. Right. Or the insect is useful for making your chitin or then oil which can be used as an engine oil. Yeah. Or the packaging material. So that is again called innovative or systematic thinking. Yeah. There is no point in growing an insect on a biomass which is already an important biomass. That will be downcycling. There is no point in growing an insect like black soldier fly on apple. Yeah. That is a perfect example of downcycling. See, I didn't get that example while doing that one. Yeah. So systematic thinking. Systems and sectors seeking defossil and to green their supply through bio-based product. So any of the industry, even transport industry, use a lot of fossil fuel. How we can get rid of fossil fuel and have biological origin fuel in it. Yeah. Instead of having a car and driving the car, burning the fuel, if 4 people are sitting inside, those 4 people can push it from the back. It will be again a sort of bioeconomy, right? Do you agree with that? Because biological source is driving that particular car. Yeah. No, I do get those type of examples also, but from the school kids, when we do some of these type of stuff for school kids, they come up with those type of example, and nothing wrong in that one. Yeah. So that is all to do with your bioeconomy. Now, if you'll see, this is visualization of circular economy. There are 2 cycles. One is a biological cycle, other one is technical cycle. So manufacturing is quite common. So you have a product, you use it, collect it, disassemble, separate it, and you get technical nutrients or whatever. So just don't go with this image, just look at the wording, and then how it has been, whatever is produced here is to do with your, suppose, t-shirt, yeah? This is a technical part. Biological part is you grow crops. Am I right or wrong? Wrong. Start from here. You have product, t-shirt, use it. Then what you do it? You compost it if it is made up of cotton. The problem comes with the cotton is mixed with elastic one, like stretchable ones, yeah? They becomes very difficult to recycle. This is the biggest challenge at the moment from the textile sector. Then you get your nutrient, and then you have organic cultivation. So that means our past generations, 100 or 200, 300 years ago, when they're focusing only on a cotton and a jute, so they were much more smarter than current generation, yeah? Obviously, cotton shirt is very difficult to iron. Because of that reason, I just avoid that one, yeah? But that creates another problem. Ironing will take an energy, so how you take it, things in a bigger picture becomes important. So biological size, consumption of products and material, use of product and material, yeah? So that is all biological cycle and technical cycle, how all the things are related. So if you fit in any example related to this, this is simple example of a t-shirt or any shirt or any clothing material. You can fit in any example here and try to look into its technical cycle. That means how do you use it and what is its biological cycle, yeah? I'm pretty sure the phones and all these things cannot come into the biological side of it, or it can come in what way? So what should be the bioeconomy strategy when it comes to us? One is ensuring food and nutritional security. Second one, managing natural resources sustainably. That means whatever, if we move everything to bioeconomy, we need to have a place to grow that natural resources. But how do you manage that land or land use policy? That's another important factor. Reducing dependencies on non-renewable or unsustainable resources. Yeah, a question? Yeah, please go on.
Sir, as you mentioned that cotton clothes and all the polymer or the fabric which we get from plant, they get degraded easily. So what happens with synthetic and polyester, like polymer clothes we are wearing? What happens to them?
So that is exactly the polystyrene clothes or some of the mixture of elastomer with the cotton. Those are the challenges at the moment to be addressed. So
Okay.
that's why how you segregate is the biggest problem. If you take a plastic, any food product in a plastic tray, bottom one is the black hard tray and top one is polyethylene, yeah? You see those type of tray product comes in, whether it's a fish, meat or any other product. They're two different materials and both can be recycled provided they both are segregated properly. If you are able to segregate it, then you are able to recycle it. PET is polyethylene terephthalate. That's an engineered plastic, easy to recycle it. But in order to improve the durability of the material, when you mix two things together, it becomes very difficult to recycle it. So that's the challenge about the textile sector. So that's why even when you are using the clothes, because we are not going into that direction too much, because those, they have longevity is there, long long shelf life is there. Same problem is there, the dyes. All the colors, cotton is white, somebody is a red t-shirt, somebody is having a grey t-shirt, it's only a difference of color. So those color dyes, what we do with when it goes to the water, you've seen the coloring of textiles, and then you have a way or different matrices to recover that dye. So same thing, now I'll give you the fish examples. Shells, you make it activated carbon and then to use to remove the dye from the water, yeah? So there are different ways it can be used. You're right, this is a challenge, and you think how best it can be segregated. If you get a proper idea, do it, and then you have millionaire overnight. Yeah, not the idea cellular connection. You know, that's what used to be a joke. Oh, I don't have an idea. Get an idea. That means the person went into what idea? Cellular connection. Yeah. So that's okay. So strategy related to ensuring food and nutrition security, natural resources, unsustainable resources, limit and adapt to climate change, strengthening European competitiveness and creates job. So this is all coming from European strategic document, that is we have our own bioeconomy action plan, that is 2025, 2023, 2025. And if you want to read it, whatever I said, what are the priorities, these are all listed in this particular document. Yeah, that you can get it easily on assets.gov.ie. We being Irish Agriculture Food Development Authority, our responsibility is also to create those type of involved in policy document which is released by Taoiseach, that is Government of Ireland, that is Prime Minister, is known as the Taoiseach's office. So governance and awareness, research, development and innovation, natural capital, nature, climate, energy and circular economy, agriculture, food, forestry and the marine, communities, regional and cities, industry and enterprise, knowledge and skills. So everything is encompassed into this particular bioeconomy action plan. And this is freely available online, and you can just have a look at it. Yeah, even if you put bioeconomy action plan, you'll find that document, and these are live documents, will be again upgraded, will be new actions will be coming up. And as you can see, what are the pillars of bioeconomy? Yeah, so that's one, and this will be related to circular economy and bioeconomy. So as you can see, this is coming from the one of the Nature publication, that is Communication, Earth and Environment. So when it comes to circular economy, where to start? What is the starting point of a circle? Yeah, circle, there is no starting point, right? Yeah, you are right. So the center is like a protector, yeah. So anyway, so circular economy is capturing, regenerating, optimizing and displacing. So all those things, how we can create circularity. And when it comes to bioeconomy, everything related to bio, yeah. All those things related to bio becomes bioeconomy, that is same economic principles. Bioeconomy relies everything to replace fossil based one to the biological origin. Circular economy is still the economic principles which are continuing, how we make it circle. Yeah, that's that is that is what wanted to talk to you about different types of economies. What were the different types of economies? 12 different colors. If you look into the literature, you may find few more colors. Yeah, that's important. And what the key one is related to green economy. That means everything, whatever you do, should have a green element. That does not mean you just change everything with the green color, but to have a natural appeal. Sorry. Other one is bioeconomy, everything to do with biological origin. Circular means everything to be circular, to use it. So the best concept will be circular economy or circular bioeconomy. What will be better? CE or BCE? Sorry. This is also sustainable, isn't it? You don't need to use a pencil. Oh, I was correct actually. Circular bioeconomy. Circular economy, that means currently whatever economic activities are, how we make it circle. Yeah, that's one. That means take an example of water bottle, phone or a tablet or a computer. And circular bioeconomy, that means every of the fossil based origin is converted into biological origin, and within that if we have circularity, that's a perfect one. When those activities are related to blue, will become blue circular economy. Yeah. So we'll stop at this point and we'll continue with our next lecture related to. Have you seen the schedule? So before we conclude, do you have any questions?
Sir, in hostels and, for example, in any gatherings, lot of foods being wasted. So I have a question, like, as food is a biodegradable, so it get decomposed by microorganisms. So my question is whether wasting food is an example of circular bioeconomy or not.
Okay, wasting food at a one is when you go to take an example of pizza. When you're hungry, you order a big pizza box. You eat some slices. That's a 10th apple effect story you would have heard from different sources. Yeah. So if leftover pizza is there, so that means you are wasting the food. But if you are preserving it and eating for next day without compromising other things, yeah, that is again to reduce it. So that means you are trying to reuse the leftover food. Or the big restaurant, you're talking about one specific one. So in hostel, suppose a large amount of food is prepared, but you had a party, the food is left over. So there are certain aspects are ongoing at the moment, how those, that is crowdsourcing. That means there is a proper network, leftover food is over here, and how that can be used for poor. There are a lot of some of those community kitchens been started to use of that food for other people rather than wasting it. Yeah. When food is wasted, the worst thing is it goes for incineration. If you segregate the food and create a fertilizer, so you are reducing the impact of climate negative or chemically processed nitrogen and different fertilizer to produce your fertilizer and growing the crop. That's why organic cultivation is becoming quite prominent at the moment, so that you eliminate those chemical fertilizers. So it can be a course of circular economy, but if it is being looped in some way or the other. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So now we'll conclude this particular one. So we discussed about different types of economy, different colors of economy, circular economy, biocircular economy, and the next lecture will start with blue circular economy, and we'll start with the question, what is blue circular economy, that you will be defining. Yeah.